Hello, my name's Tom and this is Proper Honest Tech. I'll level with you. Back when Apple first released the AirPods all the way back in 2016, and for the next couple of years thereafter, I pretty much disregarded them. They seemed, to me at least, to be the wireless versions of the free AirPods that Apple gave away with each new iPhone. Cheap, tinny but wireless, and at the time I felt like there were better non-Apple versions on the market. Plus, I hated how they looked, with those long stems. Then at the back end of 2019, Apple released the AirPods Pro, and the general consensus was that they were very, very good. Good enough that I thought it might be time to pay attention. I took the plunge, picked up a pair, and have owned them now for about 9 months, and these are my long-term thoughts on the AirPods Pro. Let's start with the look. The AirPods Pro are, as you can see, these short little things about 2 centimeters high with curved stalks. In my opinion, they look much better than the original AirPods, which I felt looked like regular wired earpods, but with the wires snipped off. I really hated the long stalks on those, and I like the fact that these kind of disappear into your ears and don't stand out anywhere near as much. They're more stubby looking and subtle. On the outside of the device, you have outward-facing microphones used to detect external sound. There's also an inward-facing microphone which listens out for unwanted noise inside your ear. At the bottom of each of the stems, you've got a letter to let you know which pod is for which ear, and beneath that, these small metal strips which connect the AirPods to the charging elements in the included case. And at the end of each AirPod, you've got a tapered tip with 3 different sizes coming in the box. They're really easy to change, pulling off and clipping on really easily. I'm kind of surprised Apple didn't go for some kind of strong magnets here, as the whole thing feels and sounds like something you wouldn't want to do too often in case you ended up breaking them. In terms of build quality, the AirPods Pro feel cheap and plasticky, which is a shame considering how much they cost. But I also think it's worth remembering that earphones need to be light and comfortable to wear, and that might explain why there's more plastic being used here than there are with other Apple products. And they definitely are light, 5.5 grams each to be precise, making them really comfortable for long-term wearing, although more on that later. As for the carrying case, this is definitely the bulky part of this offering, at just over 45 grams. It's a nice looking little device with no branding on it other than the designed by Apple marking on the back. The hinge mechanism feels strong and sturdy and makes a really satisfying click when you close it. It almost feels like a magnetic closure, even though it's not. Magnets are fitted, however, to both of the AirPods so that when you release them, they gently drop into place in the case, exactly where they need to be in order to be charged. On the rear of the case is a button which is used for pairing the device, although as you'd expect with Apple, pairing once is typically all that you need, so you're not likely to have to use this too often. But of course, looks are irrelevant if a pair of earphones don't sound good, and thankfully the AirPods Pro are really impressive in this regard. Noise cancellation first, and I have to tell you, when I first put these in my ears, heard the little bleep sound that lets you know that the AirPods are in your ears, I was really blown away by how good it is. The combination of microphones, sensors, accelerometers, and the H1 system-in-package chip means there's a hell of a lot of computing tech going on in here, and it's that technology that makes the noise cancelling so good. It adjusts at 200 times per second, meaning that even sudden changes in the ambience around you are blocked out really effectively. One thing I have noticed in comparison to other noise-cancelling earbuds, though, is that these are much better at ambient sounds than they are sudden noises, or people talking nearby, for example. In some ways, I guess that's a good thing, as you still want to ensure that you're safe and aware of what's going on around you when you're wearing your AirPods, and I've noticed that most of the other wireless earbuds that I own have a similar issue, but it is something to keep in mind. If you want absolute best noise-cancelling money can buy, you need to be considering over-the-ear headphones instead. But for drowning out the background noise of a plane, the hum of your air conditioner, or the ambience of a busy office, for example, they're more than good enough and mean you don't have to turn your music up too loud. As for the sound, this is where I was really impressed when I first put these in my ears. I've always thought of Apple earphones as being these tinny, cheap-sounding things that suffer with not enough bass and really weak mids and highs. The AirPods Pro sound excellent, and they cope really well with all different types of music, from the hip-hop that I normally listen to, through to jazz, pop, classical, everything sounds good. I'm happy to admit that we're not talking audiophile good here, by the way, but then these are Bluetooth earphones playing generally compressed digital audio, so you probably need to ensure that your expectations are in line there. For most people, and for most use cases, you're not going to be disappointed. But despite all of this, I didn't actually purchase the AirPods Pro for their music playing capability. I purchased them for my business. I work from home, and especially since the pandemic started, Zoom meetings have become the norm. I also don't know whether I'm going to take a Zoom meeting on my MacBook or my iPhone or my iPad, and with that in mind, I wanted a solution that would allow me to hear people and for them to hear me in a high-quality, uniform way across all my devices, and I honestly think that this is where the AirPods Pro really excel. Their ability to isolate and pick up my voice, even in noisy backgrounds, is amazing.
In fact, this is me talking with the AirPods Pro in my ears. So this is unedited audio, and it will give you some idea of the way that I would sound if you were listening to me talking on a Zoom call or FaceTime.
They're also comfortable. I've worn them for multiple hour-long calls in a row, and not once have I felt that they've made my ears sore or sweaty, and trust me, I can't say that for all of the earphones that I own. As for battery life, you're looking at around 3 to 4 hours per charge, and dropping them in the case will then get you another 3 to 4 full charges before you need to charge the case up again. The case supports wireless charging, and you can of course charge the case up while you're using the AirPods, which is pretty cool. What about you? What do you tend to use your AirPods or wireless earbuds for these days? Drop me a comment and let me know. Spatial audio, a feature recently added via a software update, promises to bring 3D audio to your AirPods Pro for relevant content such as anything showing in Dolby Atmos. I've tried it and it's pretty impressive. It's still not at the point where you can really truly distinguish that things are happening behind you, in my opinion, but it's definitely far wider than stereo. It can also adjust the sound depending on the angle at which you're viewing the screen, which is cool, although I'm still not totally sure why it's a feature I'd want. I guess when you consider that a good iPad and a pair of AirPods Pro are all you need to enjoy movies with amazing sound and visuals, that's pretty incredible, and should definitely guarantee you some enjoyable train and plane journeys in the future. So, would I buy them right now in January 2020? The answer is yes, but with a caveat. Word on the web is that there's an update due in a few months' time, with many saying April of this year. As for just how much better the AirPods Pro 2 are going to be than these AirPods Pro, that's something we're going to have to wait and see. But if you're someone who likes to be on the bleeding edge of technology, it's definitely something to keep in mind. Purchasing today could mean you're out of date in a couple of months. But if you're the type of person who doesn't care about this, then I'd say wait until the new versions are released and see if you can get a deal on these. I originally paid £250 and saw them from a reputable retailer here in the UK today for £200. Assuming another price drop, maybe bringing these closer to £150, and I really think you've got a great deal and some fantastic earphones that should last you a good few years. So, there you go. That's my long-term review of the AirPods Pro. I hope you found the video useful. If you did, please do drop a like and consider subscribing to my channel, where I'll be releasing at least one new video per week. Thanks for watching. See you on the next video.